Everybody, it's a Mad Master. I'm doing one more video. I just was on Twitter, and I was seeing Styxhexenhammer's new tweet about Tulsi Gabbard, and I just wanted to chime in on this because I think I actually gave her money 2 years ago, and I was a big supporter, and also people were kind of calling her out and making fun of her and saying all this stuff, and she's a Modi tool and all this stuff. And I was like, and she was kind of seemed subversive, but there was something, just this weird essence of her that seemed a little off, and it always did. And it's just not some retrospective thing. I started to kind of question her like a year and a half ago, but the thing is, so Styxhexenhammer rightfully called her out, and this is one of his best takes in a while, because it's like he's pissing off a lot of I like when he pisses off enough people on both sides that it's one of the best things like I've seen him do in a while. Like I like a lot of his takes because he's not in that box that people are in. And I'm proud to say that he's a right-winger, quote unquote, libertarian, quote unquote, that I really follow and take to heart, because he sees this evidence that these things are happening, and he has a very pragmatic take on a lot of things that people don't understand. I think that's where the disconnect between people that criticize him and say all this stuff, and even in a way like the anomaly debate is kind of about that. There's a pragmatism with him that people they misinterpret. So he criticized Tulsi today for saying all this stuff about these new C virus treatments, right? So she had this take that it's going to cause more, transformers, variant transformers. I'm just going to use that code word. And oh my God, we can't trust these. And it's just like, he had this take that, it was a similar thing that I thought. I'm like, that's great. There's a new treatment, that just kind of cures it. There's no proof. Okay, there's proof that the Jabba-Dabba-Doo, maybe. There's more proof that might cause mutations and stuff, but there's no proof that a medication, regardless, I think, obviously there's questions about that too there, and there should be. But there's no proof that will cause that. And it just seems like this take, increasingly she's become a war hawk and said all this really weird neoliberal meets neoconservative kind of stuff. And he rightfully called her out today. I'm just like, good on him for actually taking a stand against this bullshit. And that's, a lot of the coronatarians pushing mandatory Jabba-Dabba-Doos have used that there's no, like he said on Twitter, there's no medical treatment for this. Well, we got to have this Jabba-Dabba-Doo on everybody. To me, it's less invasive to have a medication, period. And it's not as permanent, because, and this is the point. I think this is kind of his take too. I'm sure this is kind of his thing. It's like, that's the excuse these people have been using to do all this stuff. So having this treatment that might have like 50 or to 60, 70, 80, 90% efficacy for people, who knows? There's various things coming out, still kind of in the early stages, so who knows what it's going to do, is actually a lifesaver for people that are sick of this bullshit happening and all these excuses that people are using for increased authoritarianism. So his take is damn right. I would go support him on Twitter, support his videos, because that is the right take, in my opinion, to criticize that fear-mongering from her, I mean, we can complain about the CNNs, the Brian Stelters, the Don Lemons, and all these, dare I say, fascist, authoritarian fuckwits in the establishment, quote-unquote, left media over the last 2 years being total fear-mongering assholes. But when a politician has this weird right-wing audience that calls herself a Democrat, who seems like a grifter, seems like she's jumping on any train that's like the most contrarian train. So things are leveled against Jimmy Dore, of course, but Jimmy Dore, I think, is more consistent, as well as Glenn Greenwald. I think is more consistent, that people give him credit for, but Tulsi Gabbard is doing these flip-flops on everything. It's questionable. And actually, Dave Rubin kind of reminds me of that, So it's just really dumb. And it's just like the right take to have is to question people that are not wanting certain things done. Maybe people think he's like flipped or something because, oh my God, he's gonna start doing like pro lockdown videos now. No, he's never said that he was against the Jabba Dabba Doo in the first place. I mean, he never said that he was actually completely against it in any form. I mean, I would say that he obviously he questions it. He questions aspects of the response, aspects of the thing, of course, as any critical person with a brain would. But I'm sure he'll get ratioed too. But having a unique opinion, that doesn't fit the narratives of all these people. He's kind of, I mean, the irony is, look up early 2020 videos from him. It's just insane, like how much he predicted all this stuff, this whole thing. Like he was worried in January, February about this whole thing happening. The guy has like a very prescient intuition. I'll just put it that way. That's why I follow him. I don't agree with him on Trump or economics really, but it's like everything else. I mean, people have called him all sorts of names, and he's had some problematic, like kind of, kind of partnerships in the past. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm like totally in step with everything he says or he is, but I do follow his content. I like his. I would probably disagree with a lot of stuff. I probably disagree with about 40% of stuff, at any given day that he believes in. I'm probably a leftoid, or whatever you want to call me. But his take on Tulsi Gabbard is completely spot on. She's totally sold out. I had high hopes for her. All these politicians, they're just like dominoes. I would say that Bernie Sanders, I think he's more of a coward than actual, opportunist necessarily. But it's just like, it just sucks, I gave all this money in 2019 to Tulsi Gabbard and like Bernie, and I don't think I gave any to Warren as far as I know. I did give I gave money to AOC. I can't fucking believe it. I can't believe it. You can just like, slap me in the face for that. It was the dumbest thing I ever did. It seems really weird now because I like have a Let's Go Brandon bumper sticker and stuff. But yeah, I don't support what Tulsi Gabbard is doing. And Styxhexenhammer's take on her, I hope he does a really long, really good video about it, because this is something that needs to be called out. These types of flexes are so stupid right now. It's a weird day today. Like you have Trevor Noah questioning the Jabba Dabba Doo narrative. I got the Jabba Dabba Doo from Matt McKinley, by the way. And the Jabba, I think he's calling it something else now, and I can't remember. It was really funny. The Jabba Dabba Doo narrative, and then you have Styxhexenhammer calling out like Tulsi Gabbard and like questioning Big Pharma in the way that she has. Now, it's not necessarily that you believe that, that these drugs don't cause harm or anything like that, but like the idea that she's just pushing this, she's spouting out this stupid nonsense is really what's questionable. And it doesn't help our cause against this fascism, against this authoritarianism of the last 2 years. That kind of shit doesn't help. And I think that's probably why he's so mad. It's just true. But that's about all.